1,000 miles. From Yukon to Alaska, 11 checkpoints. 26 mushers. 364 sled dogs. Minus 40 degrees. A race against time. Only one winner. Mushers conquering the Yukon Quest, the most extreme race in the world. In the last episode, Brent Sass and Alan Moore were neck and neck. There were more than 300 miles separating the first from the last teams on the trail. Day 10 at 5:36 a.m., Alan Moore is the first to arrive in Two Rivers. Brent Sass arrives 2 minutes later, an incredibly tight race. This is the last checkpoint before Fairbanks and has a mandatory 8-hour layover. With such a close race, neither team will stay a second longer than required. Bob Daff is still proofing the trail and is only a few hours from the finish line.
La piste est vraiment bonne, elle est bien marquée. Il y a quelques endroits un peu plus difficiles, mais je pense que ça va aller assez vite. Tout va bien, la vie est belle. Dans 5 ou 6 heures, peut-être 7, je serai à Fairbanks et ça sera la fin de la course pour moi.
Normand Casavant leaves Circle City at 8:20 a.m. Jason Campeau has concerns about what lies ahead.
J'ai entendu que Eagle Summit, ça serait un des points les plus difficiles dans toutes les courses de traîneau dans le monde. Mais à la fin de la journée, c'est pour ça que ça s'appelle le Yukon Quest.
Jason leaves for Central 48 minutes behind Normand. Nicolas Vanier arrives in Circle City at 11:05 a.m. He is in 12th position, but that doesn't seem to be his main concern.
On peut faire ça juste là-bas parce que j'ai 2 chiens.
Ouais, mais à ce moment-là, il faut mettre le temps après qu'on les fait. Je peux pas mettre le temps d'arriver maintenant et...
Oui, je me fiche du temps.
2 of his dogs are injured.
Je sais pas, il y a 3 km d'ici, il s'est fait un truc dans la glace, je sais pas quoi. Tout allait bien.
The rules require a minimum of 6 dogs to finish the race. Nicolas is concerned about reducing his team to 7 dogs so close to the ascent of Eagle Summit. Could this be the end of the race for the French team? The clock is ticking in Two Rivers as the layover is about to end for Alan Moore and Brent Sass. Alan drops 2 dogs, leaving him a team of 11, one less than Brent. Could this be a tactic to keep only his fastest dogs for the final run to the finish line? The atmosphere is tense. Only 46 miles separate Two Rivers from Fairbanks, the shortest run of the whole race. Alan is confident because he lives and trains in Two Rivers. His dogs know this part of the trail by heart.
2 weeks before the race, we'll go to the last checkpoint, and the only run I will do will be from that point all the way to the finish line. So they know they're going there. And 2 years ago, that is the fastest I've ever ran that section. So what's going to happen this year?
Alan Moore is set to leave at 1:36 p.m. Brent Sass prepares to leave at 1:38 p.m. The 2 minutes that separate Alan and Brent are palpable. In 2012, Hugh Neff beat Alan Moore by only 26 seconds. At 1:38, Brent's dogs refuse to leave.
Mason, what are you doing? Okay, Pete. All right, Mason, come on.
Have they decided to mutiny?
Let's go.
Those are stressful moments when you get out there, and I know the dogs want to go. The bottom line is that they just needed a little bit more you know, they needed a little push in the beginning there. I knew that they weren't gonna like do that for the rest of the run. I knew that once I got them rolling and their legs were moving and they started rolling, that we were gonna be fine. And I had to believe that.
After a delay of a few precious minutes, Brent finally leaves Two Rivers. Will he catch Alan, who knows the trail like the back of his hand? Damon Tedford reaches Central at 4:25 p.m. He's now at the foot of Eagle Summit, a major test for a rookie. His dogs are doing well, so Damon decides to keep moving. He takes 20 minutes to reload provisions before leaving for his ascent. Normand Casavant arrives in Central at 7:02 p.m.
Who's in front? Right in front of you? Yeah. When Damon was here the last time.
His handlers take advantage of this time to fill him in on the conditions of the trail and his opponents. Normand is aware of the poor trail conditions ahead. The warm weather of the last few days have created overflow that has made the trail treacherous in the last few hours. Normand takes 20 minutes to feed his dogs and himself. Then he takes off to stay hot on Damon's tail and begin his own ascent of Eagle Summit. Despite his lead, Alan Moore is overtaken by Brent Sass less than 40 miles from the finish line.
When I passed Alan Moore out there on the trail, 45 miles from the finish line, we were together like never before. I mean, those dogs sensed the energy in me. They sensed the energy from all the people and they knew exactly what we were doing at that moment. And we were one and the same, and it was amazing.
Brent Sass maintains his pace for the next 40 miles and wins the Yukon Quest at 10:52 p.m.
Welcome home. How did it feel?
Unreal. Thanks a lot for everyone for coming out. It's crazy. The river's been full of people. It's just so overwhelming.
This is the first win for Brent. He completed the 1,000-mile race in 9 days, 12 hours, and 49 minutes.
It's pretty amazing. I got an awesome dog team down there. It's real proud of those 12 dogs down there.
Since Brent has finished the race, he'll receive the 4-ounce gold nugget that he earned for being the first to arrive in Dawson City.
I mean, it's just a culmination of all the help I've had to get here. And this is for everybody. Everybody out there that's helped me throughout the years. This is for all of us. This is an amazing moment.
After such a heated battle, Alan Moore crosses the finish line 1 hour and 12 minutes behind Brent Sass. The champion of the 2 previous years is disappointed in the performance of his dogs.
I thought it could have been just like it was 2 years ago, where they really rocked. I mean, like Brent's team did this year, and I thought my team would be the team again. But it wasn't big, and I mean, I had a few hours that maybe that played a part, but who knows? They just didn't have it this year.
The race is over for Brent and Alan, but there are still 14 teams jockeying for the best positions. Day 11, Damon Tedford arrives at mile 101 at 58 minutes after midnight in 5th position. What's happened to Normand? By the early morning of day 11, 2 teams have already finished the race. 6 teams have beaten Eagle Summit and made it to mile 101 checkpoint. Normand Casavant arrives at 59 minutes after midnight, only 1 minute behind rookie Damon Tedford. After a 7-hour rest in Circle City, the vets allow Nicolas Vanier to continue the race with his 9 remaining dogs. Nicolas arrives in Central at 7:03 a.m. in 12th position. Again, he has a dog in the sled. Is it injured, or is there another reason for his sleigh ride?
Il fait exprès de préserver Sidi, qui est très très forte en montée. Il l'a mise dans le traîneau pour qu'elle soit vraiment en forme pour Eagle Summit et qu'elle en amène tout le monde. C'est vraiment stratégique.
Nicola decides to take a few hours of rest before climbing Eagle Summit. Normand arrives in Two Rivers at 11:59 a.m. in 6th position. He had closed the 3-hour gap with Damon and passed him before they climbed Eagle Summit. Damon trailed behind for the entire ascent.
Ça a été facile. Les chiens ont monté Eagle Summit comme si ça a été une vraie farce.
Normand doesn't have anything good to say about Damon Tedford and the technique he used on Eagle Summit.
Puis l'autre, comment il s'appelle? Je l'appelle le doc, là. Il était caché en arrière de moi, puis il me suivait caché. Il avait besoin de moi pour monter, pauvre tipette.
You got some of these summits, and they're not really well marked. So, like, a guy like me, like, I'm looking for trail markers. So when the trail gets blown in, I don't really know where I'm going. They tell you to take maps. I don't have a map or my compass or anything like that to sort of navigate down. When you have, like, Normand in front of you, he's breaking trail. There's maybe a booty that falls off his dog. You can kind of follow the trails down.
Damon believes he did his best, but Normand sees things differently.
Il s'est servi de moi. Je dis habituellement, quand on fait Eagle Summit, on se cache pas en arrière de quelqu'un. On demande à l'autre, as-tu besoin d'aide? On peut travailler à deux. Je dis, c'est sûr que c'est pas toi qui vas avoir le vote pour l'esprit sportif du Nord.
If I was closer to Normand when he was going through that deep stuff, the appropriate thing to do would be let him do a little bit of it. He backs off, I go and do some of it, and we kind of just share the load there so he's not burning out his team while I'm sitting in the back, enjoying a free ride. Yeah.
Normand tries not to let the past bother him.
J'ai vraiment du fun, mais je suis fatigué. Là, j'ai pas dormi vraiment pas beaucoup. Je suis assommé, là.
Normand opened the trail for Damon during the climb of Eagle Summit. That explains why Damon didn't stop at mile 101 and continued directly to Two Rivers. His dogs were still in good shape. Damon even had the energy to pass Hugh Neff by 6 minutes. He arrives in Two Rivers at 7:49 a.m., 6 hours behind Ed Hopkins. Some may question Damon's sportsmanship, but the rookie is now in 4th place. He takes off for Fairbanks at 3:49 p.m. Hugh Neff leaves 6 minutes later in 5th position. He only has 7 dogs against Damon's 12, so it'll be a real challenge for him to take back 4th position. But there are still 46 miles left in the race. Day 11. Ed Hopkins, Damon Tedford, and Hugh Neff are racing towards the finish line. At 7:59 p.m., Normand leaves Two Rivers to chase the leaders.
All right. Baby. Yes, sir. Ça va, Fairbanks. On s'en va tout à Fairbanks.
On day 12 at 1:32 a.m., Damon Tedford crosses the finish line in 4th position. This is quite an accomplishment for any musher in the Yukon Quest. Damon also wins the award for Rookie of the Year.
The goal was obviously to finish the quest. But, like, I was just so obsessed with it. I just thought about it all the time.
Damon becomes one of the few who have survived the Yukon Quest.
Right at the end, we were starting to catch Hugh, and you know, we're coming over these hills, and all the signs of his team passing before us are getting fresher and fresher. And you know, the dogs are just like keyed into something, and you're like in there and you're working and breathing hard and you're sweating a little bit, and like the dogs are cuffing, and there's this energy level there, like you're all on the hunt together, and we're gonna run this guy down. That was definitely the highlight.
Hugh Neff crosses the finish line at 3:11 a.m. in 5th position. It's quite an achievement to run nearly half the race with only 7 dogs.
I wanted top 5, that was my goal. Learned as usual that I got to mellow out in the beginning and stop pushing it so hard, but when you come in 5th and you feel like you could do better, that's always a good thing.
Will Normand Casavant maintain his 6th position, or will Jason Campeau manage to overtake him? Day 12 at 7:25 a.m., Normand Casavant crosses the finish line in 6th place. This is his best time ever. 10 days, 21 hours, and 19 minutes.
Number 6?
Hey, c'est bon, hein?
How does that feel?
C'est super.
Number 6?
Hey, number 1. I'm really happy. For me, it's a number 1, you know?
Yeah.
Training their dogs in the creek didn't turn out as well as they had planned.
J'ai eu une épreuve. À un moment donné, la glace est cassée d'environ 4-5 pieds de large. Il n'y a pas aucune place à passer. Il faut traverser. C'est la rivière, c'est de l'eau claire. Puis mes chiens n'ont pas voulu aller dans l'eau. Je les comprends. C'est moi, il a fallu que je les force. Il a fallu moi, je saute dans l'eau. Fait que mes bottes, c'est tout les là.
The rest of Normand's strategy was perfect.
Mes chiens, je les ai pas maganés. J'ai fait une course en fonction de moi, de mes besoins, de mes goûts. Puis j'ai été capable de prévoir que le froid était pour endommager les chiens. Puis que si j'ouvrais la machine, comme il y en a qui ont fait, mais j'aurais peut-être été dans les 10 qui ont scratché. Fait qu'à partir de là, pour moi, je trouve ça extraordinaire d'avoir tenu compte de ça. Vraiment de bonne. Ben, tu vois, ça, c'est important de spécifier ça. La bonne humeur des gens. Tu vois, ça, c'est pour moi, ça a été le plus beau cadeau de le voir, lui, dans le checkpoint, tout le temps comme ça, de bonne humeur, là. C'était vraiment, vraiment fantastique. Plus j'approchais, puis je trouvais ça le fun de voir des gens, il est super de bonheur, là, à matin, qui me faisaient des beaux bye-bye, puis qui m'encourageaient. C'était vraiment trippant. Puis plus j'arrivais, ben plus je me disais que je l'ai fini, tabarnak. Je l'ai fait, je l'ai fait, tu sais.
At 1:43 p.m., Jason Campeau arrives in 7th position. 11 days, 2 hours, and 34 minutes. An excellent time for the rookie musher.
Oui, on avait un game plan, puis on a gardé le game plan, puis ça nous a mis en 7e. On est vraiment content avec ça. On n'a pas dévié du plan pantoute, puis c'est ça qui est... les chiens ont eu beaucoup de repos, puis c'est pour ça qu'ils étaient en tellement bonne shape aujourd'hui en rentrant.
Nicolas Vanier has dropped one more dog, but he's excited by the thought of completing the race for the first time.
Ouais, ça va bien. Les chiens sont de plus en plus forts. Il faudrait une course de 2000 miles. Faut pas faire de bêtises. Rester très concentré. Je me relâcherai quand je verrai le finish line. Pas avant. Dernière bottille.
Nicolas Vanier finishes in 9th position at 6:44 p.m. 11 days, 8 hours, and 32 minutes. A huge achievement for the musher who scratched in his 2 previous attempts.
L'Eagle Summit était incroyable parce que les chiens avaient une forme éblouissante. Donc, j'ai fait cette étape-là très, très rapidement. Et puis, le début de la course avec ces grands froids était aussi... c'était quelque chose, quoi. Puis j'ai eu pas mal de problèmes, moi, au début. Donc, le début était aussi excitant dans une certaine façon parce qu'il fallait gérer la difficulté, quoi.
Kristen Knight Pace finishes in 15th position. 12 days and 11 hours. Another great achievement for a rookie.
Oh man, this is the trip of a lifetime. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. Hands down. And the hardest, but definitely amazing. I had way more fun than I ever thought I would have had. Parts of the trail were the most challenging parts because Like during them, I was like worried or stressed out or scared or crying or swearing. And then like almost immediately afterward, it's like, man, that was the best run of the race.
The 16th and final musher crosses the finish line at 11:13 a.m. Veteran Rob Cook is awarded the Red Lantern for his perseverance in overcoming the legendary challenges of the Yukon Quest. This is an achievement that 10 of his fellow mushers who scratched cannot claim. During the closing ceremonies, Brent Sass wins several awards. In addition to being the champion at the 2015 Yukon Quest, he receives the Gold Nugget for the Dawson City Award. Brent also receives the Veterinarian's Choice Award for outstanding care and treatment of his dogs, an award that could be shared with every musher in the Yukon Quest. Brent's 2 lead dogs, Basin and Sound, receive the Golden Harness Award, which includes very rare steak. After the ceremony, everyone gets to rest.
J'ai le goût de dormir, j'ai le goût de bien manger, j'ai le goût d'une bonne bière. Puis je te dirais de relaxer, puis d'être bien, puis laisser l'équipe s'occuper des chiens pendant les 2-3 prochains jours, puis juste faire un petit retour sur moi.
The trail will soon disappear beneath the blowing snow as if the race had never existed. The 1,000 volunteers who brave the elements will all return home. But as long as there are mushers and their canine athletes crazy enough to take on the challenge, the Yukon Quest will continue to be a legendary adventure.
Ha 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 ha!